Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's time for your morning latte. Woo! How do I give me that for a second? Give me a second. My bad. Anyway, on the menu today, we have the new process. Okay, so the reason the title is what it's called is because I just found out apparently, allegedly, I just found out that the game, I feel like most games separate into like chapters and then like stages within the chapter. I mean, Arknights originally had like stages within the chapters, right? Other games have like acts and then chapters, right? So the fact that they have processes is a little bit more interesting here. Am I the only person here? It's okay, we just started. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's good to have you, you know. Sorry, I had a bit of an intrusive thought just now. I won't say it out loud. But anyway, between last time and this time, was it between last time and this time? I did a little bit of factory building. I guess it was between last time and this time. I'm pretty sure I did it like right after the last stream. But I did a bit of the factory. It's still very, very bad. There's like a huge open area right here. And also I've discovered what people mean by the cuprium is lacking a lot. Like I've mined all the cuprium we have. Oh wait, no, we have a lot. Yeah. We're using 120. Wait, hey? Oh, we're using as exactly as much as okay. Well, you know, it is what it is. Is that actually is that actually the case? That's crazy. Fascinating. Anyway, sorry. My point here today is I've discovered what people mean by we don't have enough cuprium. Because I feel that we don't have enough cuprium. What's this backlog doing? Oh, it's backlogged all the okay. I see. That would do it. Fascinating. Alright. Yeah, lovely. Hopefully that doesn't run into any problems for us in the future. Yeah, it's probably fine. But also you don't need to have any more to max at the store. That is true. It's just like it feels a little bit bad to not have a full thing of factory, right? I'm a little bit wondering what more I can make, to be honest, at this point, because it's like the best reliable way to get more sewage for this thing is through cuprium mining, right? Like I think other methods of getting it are a lot worse. Yeah. So this is a very suboptimal factory as it is. I'm not really sure what else you could add though, aside from I guess you could add like tier 1 drinks. I guess speaking of, I probably should swap out my drinks. Oh, hold on. I realized I have Genshin Impact open. That's why. Sorry. Sorry about that. You'd hate to see factory lines dwelling because you don't have enough ores. Yeah, you start thinking it's a skill issue then at that point. And, you know, that's bad. Anyway. I'm gonna real quick swap all my characters over to the 2-2 drink because I did get that for that purpose. Let's do that. I was wondering why my game was taking a minute to load. This must be why. Anyway. I'm not really sure how to use a Tung team at this point in time. I've been trying to build one question mark for her, but like, I don't know. I don't really like playing last right. I kind of think she's, oh, yeah, she's not really the playstyle that I usually go for. So it's kind of, it's been a little bit rough in that regard. So maybe I'll look into, I'll have to look more into it, but I'm pretty sure with the characters that I have, Perlica, Zaihi, I don't remember her tones. And Last Right are Tongnong's best partners as of right now, because I don't have Gilberta. You also want to fill up the space either. You can't build anything on one of the AIC and still be okay. Yeah. It's kind of bad. It's a little unfortunate. I just don't like having so much empty space is all. Hold on. Okay, anyway. Back to liquid though. Liquid. We gotta also deal with like precipitation acid. Oh my god. I haven't touched that at all because I don't really know what it's used for. Do I know what it's used for? You can drop funny memes in the empty factory space. I'm not funny enough for that. This is something I've this is something I've had to come to terms with. Hold on, let me. How do I check my? I guess it's here, right? Database, yeah. Facility? I guess it's facility, right? Production? No. Item files. Of course. Gatherables, natural resources, precipitation acid. Right, the main thing is like liquid heavy zeronite. Which is like just there, I guess. Pink devices for the new gear? Yeah, okay. So the main thing is new gear. And I kind of don't care enough about that right now, so let's not deal with that. Anyway, sorry, I was gonna have to say, I was kind of coming to terms with how like unfunny I am. Sorry, is that kind of bad to say? I was coming to terms with how unfunny I am when I was making stickers or like thinking about making stickers, because that's like most stickers that people like are kind of like the funny kind, right? It's like a silly little image and then you have like a text, right? Like I don't know. It's like a stupid cat image and then it has like a cat related meme and it's like, oh, that's funny, right? I can't do that. I have a really hard time. I have a really hard time being funny, I think. Except for like, I don't know. I laugh at myself a lot on stream, but that's a different kind. I don't know. I don't know. It's rough out here. It's rough. Anyway. So yeah, menu on the today's on the menu. We're doing a breach startups with a crack, which is process 6. That's an interesting title that I found out. Your characters are cute enough? I think the characters are cute. I think man, I don't mean to like toot my own horn, right? I think I'm pretty cute. It's more like I can't think of a funny text to put on like a stupid sticker, right? You have a joke that people understand, right? Or some people have like just like relatable funny things, right? Like I don't know. They'll have a character sleeping on a couch and it'll say text like Saturday. And that's the whole tweet. I don't know. I can't do that. I don't know. That's hard for me. Oh wait, do I have a lot of weapons? Sorry, I just noticed. I have like 2 more thermite cutters. That's crazy. Wait, I gotta level one of these. Or like Akikuri at least, right? Anyway, fascinating. That's fascinating. Anyway, let's just get into it today. Shall we? We shall. Alright. Last time, if I remember correctly, we saved the entire city and we stopped a dragon from doing dragon things, which was kind of awesome. I think this time it's probably more likely that we're gonna be doing like Zhuangfengyi's content, right? I think. Like, we're probably more likely gonna be talking to her this time and learning more about her. Something about rebuilding efforts too with Heavy Zeronate, but I don't know if that'll be part of the main story or if it's just part of the side quest story. So that's hard to say. Chen is like low-key, like that goes up to her calves, like almost her knees. That's crazy. Wait, he's so small. His knees are covered. Sorry. I didn't realize how deep this water was, that's all. That's crazy. Anyway. Hi, Zhuangfengyi. Tail. Are we a thick-tailer enjoyer or a thin-tail enjoyer? Sleeping on the job? Is it wrong? Dating Sim 2.0. I wouldn't be that surprised. That is kind of the vibe we were going for in the start. Her wide open eyes are funny still. We were delayed. How long did you wait? I like the song.
没关系，我也是刚来。
I just arrived too, she says, falling asleep. Yeah, okay.
你呢？怎么满头是汗？匆匆跑来的？
She's really like, what do you call it? What's the word? She's really racking up those points, those dating sim points. It's kind of hot today. Wow, golly gee, it sure is. It's kind of hot today. She says, licking her finger to hold it up to the ear. That's crazy.
骗人！
And I caught you napping, so that makes 2 of us.
涅菲斯留下的烂摊子可不少，我只是因为忙不过来，有些累。
She's super flirty. Yeah, she really is. Every action she does is like, it's kind of like flirting, to be honest, if you think about it. Anything to help?
有了集成工业系统， 熙壤产量迅速补足灾后空缺，田氏庄阵列也顺利恢复运转。
The way she walks like that, girl.
城内的修复工作，米芾做得很好。清波寨中又有汤汤打理，我本不该来麻烦你，可是。
He has to see me. It must be something important. I gave you a promise when we fought as a team, dude. We're really playing up the ex-wifeisms. Like still on good terms, ex-wife.
按理说，聂菲斯死去，风波平息，这盏代表武林安全的灯会重新亮起。
That's a cool shot. Also, I was thinking recently about how, like in pop culture, we kind of romanticize divorcees in a way that I don't think we have before. It's really funny.
但直到现在，它仍是无法点亮。
Does that mean Wu Ling is still in danger?
是的，管理员。武林地下新出现了一道裂隙。
What if it's a what if it's a very large rift? A new rift under Wu Ling?
三言两语说不清，还是直接带你去比较好。你又拽我。
That's pretty cute. Hey, not again. For someone so like demure, she really likes grabbing Enmin's hand. What can I say?
身为武林区管带，得时刻关注地下阵列的情况，所以办公室内就有一部直达地下的电梯。
I appreciate that she runs in her own office just for me. It's called a very large because it's a very large rift. I know, it's crazy, ain't it? I bet you trained all those joggers in Wu Ling. I bet you're the fastest runner. That's crazy.
没有的事。不过我平时事情连着事情，确实没有慢慢走的功夫。习惯成自然，一着急就拉着你跑起来了。
Sure, I'm sure that's what it is. Yeah.
虽然我挡下了聂菲斯的一击，但余波导致熙壤焰受损，出现了新的裂隙。
认证通过，最高权限，通道开启。
Access granted. I should probably move my
现
cursor.
在地下空间情
I've
况
been
复
a habit of
杂，
that.
一会儿进入后可要跟好我。
Okay. I like that they give me a lot of options to say no. Even though it's an urgent matter. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sometimes you are playing a game, you're just like, man, I only want to do a little bit of the story
武林
today.
城选址在裂隙密集区域，想要抑制裂隙出现，仅是地面上的天使装阵列并不够，
Jesus Christ, that's
地表
cool.
和地下的阵列相互作用，才能遏制住裂隙与侵蚀潮。地下阵列深埋武林城下，人们知之甚少。但这个地方，
I do like that the beats of the music are kind of timed with like when you see the
若
rift
不
from
是
the
熙壤焰
open
受
air.
损，裂隙绝不该蔓延到这里。
Also, I do appreciate that the OST has stuck out a little bit more to me this time, like this update, than the previous ones.
小心！
Cowering behind her? Dude. Dude, Enmin, come on. Are you for real? Nice. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous that we're making her do all the hard work. Like, come on. Aren't we the administrator of ENDFIELD Industries? It's more complicated than I thought. It's trickier than I thought. Is it? I didn't know anything about the situation.
至少现在息壤充足，能够支持天师庄满功率运转，遏制裂隙进一步扩张。但只要裂隙仍在这里，武林就不算安全。
I don't know. I think it's fine, to be honest. If they all get sucked into a black hole, you know, so be it. You brought me here because you have a solution.
我们曾经研发过一种用于闭合裂隙的装置——舒壤仪。
Oh, that's kind of cool. I get like blueprints of
但
it.
其后种种原因，研发停滞，导致它有许多地方不完善，需要你的帮助。
She looks like really, really sad and pathetic here. The standing next to sounds rather familiar. It sure does.
也不奇怪，毕竟当年项目停滞后，舒壤仪被改造成了吸壤炉的核心部件。
Okay.
如今，我们决定取出舒壤仪，正是因为有你在，我们或许能在短时间内完善它。拉你来地下阵列，也是想带你近距离观测裂隙，好为后续的工作提供支持。
I don't really know how being like physically close to it will help our work though. A little
超越
bit.
能量现在处于谷值，我们得在它回升前赶紧拿到数据。
That's the thing I don't like about Funny. She's got sleepy sad eyes all the time. I think it's kind of funny, to be honest. I think that's why I like her.
观测点就在前面，跟我走时脚下小心。
I think if she didn't look like a wet cat all the time, I would like her about like 10% less.
大战结束后，原本的建筑构造损毁了。不过，我们利用息壤搭建了临时的道路。
Cool. I think the fact that she looks kind of like pathetic
数据
adds
正
to her
在传输
character.
中。
Okay. Sick computer. Can I have it? Is the scroll portal all here? That's kind of cool looking. Where does it lead? To be honest, I still don't really understand anything with these portals.
10年前，
10 years ago. Everything happened 10 years ago. If the joke's not funny. 10 years ago.
画卷中保存的，正是当年武林科考站所留下的一些痕迹。等这里恢复正常，我会带你去看看。
It preserves what? What the science station left behind? Okay.
但你可能会失望，里面的东西实在过于陈旧。
Lady, do you know what I am? That's right. Really old.
传输已完成。
Preserves the memories of the past? Okay. Next stop, Zero Knight's next. Her skin is kind of blocking the text, so I actually can't read it very well. Try to check on the Zero Knight Nexus. Ten years ago, the company Hypergrip was founded. Wait, is that actually correct? Is
超
that
能
actually?
量正在回升，快走！
Well, that's awkward, ain't it? You know, sometimes I wonder when you're drawing your sword, what if you accidentally whack your buddy?
风雷动，
Like, what if you're in combat and then you just you whack the person you're standing next to? Wouldn't that be really awkward?
风雷动，
What's she doing all the way over there? Oh my god, this character's useless. She can't even. She's just sitting outside while I'm here fighting all these guys. Oh my god, dude. Is correct? Oh shoot. It's a newer company than I expected. Eh. Surely those enemy markers don't mean anything. Howdy. How are you? I can't see her very well. She's kind of transparent. Like she's fading away more and more every day. Okay. Damn, she's been running in those heels. Those have got to be like at least 5 inches, right?
头儿，照你说的，文件我放在桌子上了。
管理员，你介意等我一会儿吗？有几份文件，我得看看。
Yeah. Don't worry about it. You know, like the rift just caused more, you know, either to happen downstairs in your basement, and we're gonna go sign some papers right now. That's fine. I can just sit around for a while. It's fine. I can't judge your choices as well since I can't pay full attention. My condolences. Guess you'll just have to come back later and watch the VOD. I can watch her. I can look at her work files. 10-year-old vintage bamboo brew. Must be very precious drunk on you because she has not even touched the seal. That's cool. And you're just letting me stomp around on your desk? That's crazy. Without knowing anything. I mean, that's also true. A note written by me, fool. Things are hectic, but if you only eat when you're free, then you're never gonna eat. I like the rainbow over there. That's kind of cute. Should I talk to you? Howdy. Just delivering some files. Feel free to ignore me. I got things to deal with. I'll be gone once the boss finishes reading. Once the boss finished reading the documents. Yeah. Okay. That's the physical examination report. A fake document holder is Drung Fungy's recent health examination. I feel like I should not be looking at this. Recent battle against Neferth and constant exhaustion has taxed her health gravely. Many indicators are below healthy standards. Doctor's written a full page of prescriptions that she never followed. She's not even taking her medication. That's kind of crazy. An application for the usage of the Zero Night Nexus. The underground rift between New City is expanding. It's also kind of unfortunate. Sorry, we hear that the Tianshi supposedly are like government guys. But I've never seen a single one of them around. Suspicious. Anyway, sorry. The underground rift between New City is expanding. Given the nature of its location, various rift-sealing measures have been deemed less than ideal as the consequences may be severe. The Tianshi has finally decided to use the Zero Night Nexus to seal the rift. The user of the Zero Night Nexus must be in a close proximity to the rift. Risk levels are exceptionally high. Despite knowing the dangers involved, many Tianshi still volunteered. The candidates have yet to be finalized, and she's gonna take on the role for herself. Naturally. She's gonna be like, oh, the Zero Night Nexus, well, we gotta use that, and I'll be the one to do it. And then we'll be like, no. You can't do that, you'll hurt yourself. The city needs you. Sorry, am I making fun of it too much? I think I'm making a little too light of it. How about taking a break? I really like this shot of her. She looks very pretty here.
为什么这么问？
Stacey, I haven't taken a break in a while. Did you ever get some sleep these past few days? Have you slept at all? Girly pop?
当然要好好休息，状态不好，工作也会有纰漏。
I mean, she's right, but I don't know if I could trust her.
现在可容不得我们再出差错了。
Like, I feel like she would have done a cost-benefit analysis of how much sleep she needs, you know? All funds for chubby lung dolls and merch. I agree. What's on those files? Are those files talking about something urgent?
是有关武林损失的统计，比我预计的好些。
Okay.
我们赶紧去研究所拿舒壤仪吧。
Oh, you're finished already? Okay. That wasn't very fast. That wasn't very slow. That was very fast, is the vibe I was trying to say. Yeah. She can just power herself in 0 Night Stairways as long as she wants. Do you think she can actually like inject 0 Night into her veins? Is that how that works? I don't remember what they said about her previous power up mode. Her
管理员，我们得快点。
you know.
实验室的天师们应该将舒壤仪取出来。
I don't remember what they said about it. It's been a while. It's been a bit. Hi guys.
葛天师，怎么回事？我以为吸壤炉已经打开了。
吸壤炉的压力阀出了些问题，无法泄压，导致舒壤仪怎么也没办法取出来。
让我看看。确实，是控制压力阀的指令出了问题。复显难度很大。
Computer science stuff? I know someone who's really good at computer science. He just stands in a pool of liquid 0 Night and absorbs it. That's your headcanon. That'd be kind of funny. I would like to think that she does like regular baths with the city's
直
most
接在
valuable
工程专业的来
resource.
拆不行吗？
It's like
反正
practically
都是要淘汰的
uranium.
型号，总
and
不
she's
能
just
为了
chilling.
它耽误后面的实验。
拆了也太可惜了，即便是旧型号，也有很大的研究价值和再利用价值。更何况这么多年风风雨雨，都是他陪着我们过来的。算了，眼前事要紧，请人来拆吧。
I don't know if you can see this guy, right? But he's got a hand out and he's like swirling the cube thing. I think it's really funny that that's a thing. I don't really know what the cube thing does, but it's kind of aura.
先别着急，或许我可以尝试调整指令。
Yeah, what if I program it?
管理员，可以帮我个忙吗？
Sure thing, leave it to me. Wait, I thought you were programming it. What am I doing? The 09 Nexus? Uh-huh. Okay. It's that easy, guys. These guys suck at coding. What the
以
heck?
前只在图纸上
They
见
couldn't
过，
turn off the pressure
现在可
valve?
算是看到实物了。
I just had to press two buttons.
上次见他，都是许多年前了。
I'm a little curious also, actually. Because we learned how to make Zeronite from here, right? We get like Forge of the Sky, which I would assume is similar to, because this is their primary production for the Zeronite before, right? And then you needed this Nexus to produce the Zeronite. How do we make the Forge of the Skies then? It's more than I thought.
要不是项目停滞，或许我们还能把它迭代的更小、更便携。
I got some questions.
怎么了？
If we can stabilize risks, why halt the project?
舒壤仪虽有潜力，但也有无法克服的缺陷。一来，使用它会消耗大量息壤，不过如今息壤产量提升，暂且不用担心。
We sure are. Have you looked at my factory, Fungi?
但它对抗裂隙的方式，称得上以暴制
I shouldn't
暴。
call her Fungi. That's kind of that's too informal. I should call her Tianshudrong. That's dangerous?
瞬间释放的息壤能量与超域能量相互作用，会造成无法预计的损失。
And this is the best option she had?
我知道短时间内攻克有难度，
Girly, 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 girly. Surely we can do something
但有
else,
你的
right?
帮助，一定能将伤害范围缩到最小，不
But
会
how?
完成。
I need some surface blight type data.
当然有，只是最近的数据还未导出，得跑一趟观测站。
It's kind of awkward that there is one like literally like downstairs of her office. What are we waiting for? Let's go.
可我还有些事要和葛天师交代。
Okay, I'll go first, I guess.
等事情结束，我马上去观测站找你。
She doesn't want me to go alone? I mean, she said I could, but her mouth said otherwise. Alright, let's go to the monitoring center. I guess I'll walk. That's fine. Alright, my
我
guys.
见过其他人使用红山的剑法，但即便是同样的剑招，每个人的章法也不尽相同。
这个嘛，红山的剑术在意不在行。
Hongshan Sword Fancy.
那是米芾。
This girl's everywhere.
管理员，你怎么来了？观测站的侵蚀清理工作由我盯着呢。
We're getting some data.
头儿也来，没看到他呀？
Well, obviously.
这不是就来了。
Oh, why she's fast?
我们的工作应该很快就结束，不会影响这里的清理任务吧？
怎么会？观测点附近的侵蚀已经清理的差不多了。
Can I say something? Can I say something? I feel like they're taking credit for my work. Wasn't I the one that cleared out most of the void?
我和你们一道去，看看能不能帮些忙。
Alright. Let's take a gander. View the blight tide data. Am I getting eaten into it? Is that why it's immersion mode? Is the data gonna eat me?
头儿怎么样？仪器没有受损吧？
She's so nosy.
没有，里面的数据也保存完好。
I thought she was working. Oops, wrong one.
分析来看，数据还挺乐观。
This really feels like me feels like third wheeling. She's walked in on a you know, a working couple. I've never seen someone third wheel so hard, actually. That's so funny. What the heck is We're just yapping away. She's in the
有些大
corner.
胆，但值得一试。这样一来，消耗的息壤还能更少。
You like nosy gals? I'm not saying that I don't like nosy girls. I'm more saying that like it's really funny that she's like here to do work, and yet she's just like, you know, watching us yap, and we're not even including her or anything. That's why it's really funny to me. She's just sitting in the chair, right? Bored out of her mind.
米芙，你觉得行不通吗？
Sorry, her chest looks gigantic in this shot.
没，我哪懂这些？只是第一次见有人能这么快跟上你的想法。以前有人和我讲，你的想法太大胆，根本接不住。
Intentional angle. Yeah.
这倒是从没人和我说过。
No one told me that before.
想那么多干嘛？能有个和你想到一起去的人，挺好。
This really, this really is just like me for third wheeling. I remember someone was talking about the love.
就留你们两个在这里大胆设想了。
Yeah, okay. I saw a tweet that like the other day that was like the Wuling like polycule, right? And it's just Enmin, Hongyi, Mifu, and Tang Tang in like any order that you chose. But like this is low-key like a romantic song, no? Why are you smiling? Are you trying to say something?
没什么，只是想起以前科考站的大家讨论问题，也是这样，你一句我一句。
Science station people.
是啊，当时的想法一个比一个大胆，讨论一次比一次激烈。我第一次见他们讨论，甚至以为是在吵架呢。
Nerds nerding out. I feel like there's like a lot of tension here, you know, romantic tension. Have you argued with other people?
没，我进科考
We're
站
getting a lot of
时
shot of
年
her
纪不大
shoes.
哪里插得上嘴？
Are you sure, girl? I don't know if you should be sitting on that. I actually don't know if you should be sitting on that. I actually think that might be dangerous.
不过，就算旁听，我也能学到许多。帮前辈整理文件，也会有收获。
They definitely liked you. Hardworking, helpful, and diligent. You must be popular, girl. The camera angle change when I didn't even do anything is kind of crazy.
谁说不是呢？
A lot of effort into the footwork got to hit that value. I mean, you're right.
既然有完善思路，不如带着舒壤仪实地试验下看看。 实验有风险，让我想想。
Oh, a new area.
城外有个名为气箭台的小岛，空旷，人也少，不如去那里。
No, this song is so like it's so flirty. Ice and Ardelia's footwear is crazy. I think I have, yeah. It's like I think it's like little boots like fur. The boots with the fur.
这座岛我们很早就计划作为实验场地，但被侵蚀潮淹没后只能放弃。现在侵蚀潮退去，正好用来试验舒壤仪。
Oh, she's got a unique dash. That's cute. Hell bottom jeans. No, she wouldn't. Ardelia wouldn't. Something like that. Where is Edmund? Oh, there she is. All right. Let's get it.
野兽尸体，有人来过。不管是谁，多谢他了。实验开始前，先把剩下的清理干净吧。
Oh man, okay, that's fine. I do like, actually, within the recent quests, they've cut out a lot of the extraneous combat. At least it feels like it. I kind of felt like badly about this in the first update, like the release update, where like they had a lot of extraneous combat just like because of the exploration. But I think it's better now. She has something where she like creates summons, right? Let's try this. Alt. Okay, girl. I guess. Sure, yeah. That's not overkill at all. Oh.
装天使，你们怎么也来岛上了？
Small child spotted. We killed his son, his pet, his little guy.
还
Sorry.
以为路上的野兽已经清理干净了，没想到还漏了几个。
They're here to run a test.
实验危险，得找个没人的地方。想来想去，还是这里合适。
Does she have a heart in her hair clip?
那我能帮上什么忙吗？
No, this isn't a place for kids.
你能帮我们守在渡口，提醒大家不要靠近吗？
当然没问题。
I wish I got to see more of him. It's kind of like he's been around, but it kind of feels like he's like been a supporting character to everyone else's story a little bit. So I'd like to see more of him.
不过，你是来找黎天师留在这里的剑吗？
What? Speaking of,
算吗？也不算了。
hey Espresso, it's good to see you again. There are a lot of swords around here. I didn't comment on that earlier, but I was thinking it.
很久以前，妈妈、爸爸偶尔会带我来这里练武。大战结束后，有些话想和他们说，所以就来了。
Okay, so not only is this a dating sim with Zhuang Fengyi, it's also an adoption simulator where we adopt Li Feng as our first child.
结果一来，还没说上话，野兽就先扑上来了。我知道你们的事要紧，能不能就给我一小会儿，几句话，很快就能讲完。
Are we gonna like intrude on his last words to his family? I assume dead family too, right? It's cute. Some of these are really huge.
爸爸，
Wait, I feel like wait, should I be here?
经历这次危机，我才理解，你们身上不只有为人父母的职责。
His voice much older than I think he'd be. I have a little hard time understanding how old he is supposed to be because he's a bit of a prodigy, right? And like prodigy is by the word you would normally associate with like you know barely pubescent kind of vibe. But he sounds like he's like 16, 17, 18, right? I think his voice fits 16, 17, 18.
身为天使，需要你们的不仅是我，还有更多人，而我，却总想要你们能时时刻刻都陪着我。
Oh, I just noticed like the texturing on his middle arm here. That's cool. I can't be a 90-year-old prodigy. I'm sorry to say, if you're 90 years old, it might be a little too late for you.
对不起，是我的想法太自私了。
We're just watching this kid give his last words to his parents.
就这些了。
90-year-old and prodigy when you were younger? That is true, but you can't like become a prodigy. Chances are if you're here, you probably weren't a prodigy.
因为这只是孩子对父母的想念。
He is really small though.
明知道没有回应，却还是一直放在心里，时常想起，不曾忘记。
I do feel like we're kind of intruding though.
怎么会是自私的想法呢？
谢谢您，管理员。我不打扰你们的实验了。啊，放心，有我守着，不会有人乱闯进来的。
Okay. Third Wheel Simulator. I don't know. This is a little... It's interesting to add here, I guess, is the vibe I'm trying to go for. I didn't expect it.
实验环境基本稳定，我们去前面的平台吧。
Anyway, time to possibly destroy all these swords that are memoriams of family members. That's a full robot arm? Yeah, it's sick, ain't it? That blight there sure looks healthy. Oh, it's just armor. No, bro's got a full arm. That's metal. Didn't expect another Leafung here.
他一直想来看看，好不容易等到机会，所以第一时间就过来了。黎天师夫妇还在的时候，偶尔也会邀请我来。那会儿，黎峰只比我膝盖高，一转眼
Tiny.
已经是大孩子了。
The kid's a big boy now. And an understanding and helping one at that. Just like you, Zhuangfeng Yi. Wow. Look at
是
that.
啊，明明还是孩子，但他对责任的理
Oh,
解
he's just teen. Yeah,
比许
confirmed.
多成年人都更深刻。和父母一样，他也是尽职尽责、无私无畏的人。
He's employed at the tender age of 14 years old. He's probably not 14.
可以开始了，管理员。
I will say, and Arknights as a franchise historically has the best representation of different ages of all the games in Gacha. Probably also outside Gacha, to be fair. Can we increase the power output further?
放心，不是问题。
We can seal the portal. Let us begin.
我已经准备好了。
What portal are we sealing? Look at us catching her.
怎么样？
It's kind of wife core. How'd it go? Are you alright? I really like the span of different ages they cover. Yeah. Obviously more so for regular Arknights, but even here to an extent. Like Pogrannik looks pretty old. Right? And then you have Leafong who's like a child. And then everyone else is like somewhere between like, I don't know, probably 20 and like 50. I think Mifu's kind of old. I don't know. She gives me like... Her vibe gives me like she's too stoic to be like 20.
发生什么了？周末地与武林合作进行的防护系统升级项目，在部署时出了问题。天师们不熟悉周末地的技术，束手无策。我现在需要留在地江号协同联调部署，无法赶去现场。
Andre's pretty old, and then there are those quest NPCs. Yeah, I don't know if I count NPCs though, because I think all games will have to have NPCs that are varying ages. Like, literally, the guy so old he died of old age. That's funny. But no, yeah, no, I can't really think of a game where there aren't any old characters. Yeah, I think it's more like playable characters because it's like, you have to like, how do I say it? The idea behind playable characters is that you want them to be appealing, and young people are just generally more appealing than old people.
只能辛苦管理员你和庄天师过去看看了。我们这就去。裂隙就在城内，这个时候防护系统升级失败，万一出了差错，我们未能成功关闭裂隙，恐怕后果不堪设想。
So true.
管理员，我们得尽快赶过去看看。
Yeah, we should not dilly-dally any longer. What about the underground rift?
看报告数据还有余地，我和你先去趟选剑局，来得及。
Wait, sorry. I wanted to go back. Rift is in the city. Wait, if the rift in the city is not the one underground, sorry, I might have missed that then. You receive the news too?
不，是米芾。他说，伤患终于都苏醒了。我得去见见他们。
You don't have to. Attend to the wounded, also a technical issue. I'll take your defenses. Okay, I guess you will.
可是，
没关系，放心交给我就好。
好，等到结束，你可以直接来中心实验室找我。出发前，我们需要做好前期记录。
Okay, I'll see you there. Some guys are still drawn young in the extra, for example, Blaze in their 40s and looks like a hot 20-something. I think that's kind of anime consequences, anime style consequences, right? You still have a bunch of them that are like actually old. And I think that helps, right? Like Catherine's kind of a granny, right? Granted, I would still like more represent. Oop, she's dead. Oh, she has visions of the future? That's nice. That's lovely. Love to see that. Isn't it nice knowing that your own death is coming? Yeah. But yeah, no, having any characters that are beyond this typical age range is already nice. You know, we should always strive for more. We should romanticize being at every age, so we don't like feel bad about being old.
管理员来了。
Anime faces are simplified. You can't draw age easily. Yeah, to an extent, yeah.
抱歉，我们在部署的时候不知道出了什么问题，突然间就开始报错。我猜是工程模块出了问题，就叫了同事来。
管理员，我在报错的传递扭矩模块处听到了异常摩擦声。
Sure.
但中末地的技术和武林的还是有区别，为避免设备损伤，我们也不方便直接处理。
Wait, this is Enfield tech? Let me take a look. If it's stuff that's been in their city, I feel like they should have like instruction manuals, maybe. I like how everyone's crowding around. Is this what it's like to be a senior engineer?
原来还可以这么做，有意思。
哎，这个能量回溯的方式，感觉也可以运用在我的项目里。
Yeah, look at them talking about things. I'm sorry, guys. I kind of have no interest in the in Haas. Should be working out. No more problems, I hope. Fully engineering was so easy. True.
已经恢复了。
管理员，您要是有空，可以再留一会儿吗？
Okay.
我们都有好多问题想问您。
Okay. Oh, I guess not. I gotta be done with Tisha Drung. Dang, guys, that
中
sucks.
厅室的
Sorry
事
about
一定是
that.
要事。管理员，你赶紧过去，剩下的交给我们就好。
Dang, guys, so sorry about that. I can't stay.
过了这么长时间，得赶紧去实验室。庄天，
哦
希望没让他等太久。
Anyway, I wonder if that'll be relevant later on. Oh, I gotta teleport. Aw, heck. All right, let's take a gander. I like that they give me plenty of opportunities to stop a man. It makes it really kind of inconvenient to get from one place to another sometimes.
都是我最基本的原则。
All right, Institute of Material Science. She left already.
管理员，你怎么才来啊？
Where's Tisha Drung?
他已经离开了。
Yeah, she already
匆
left.
匆忙
Okay.
忙带着舒让仪走了。
She didn't wait for me. Le gasp.
我也不清楚啊，我还问了一句你的事，但他只是摇了摇头，说你有自己的事情要忙。
Look at this girl in the middle. She's kind of upstaging the entire scene by waving her arms like that. I still don't really know what they are doing.
不过庄天师走之前给你留了封信，放在楼上。
A letter? It's a suicide note, isn't it? It's actually cooked. I guess that's not really the way you'd phrase it. It's more like a goodbye letter. Right? When you know you're facing up towards death. Immersion mode. To be honest, I don't really understand immersion mode right now. I think like they're so short. It's a little bit hard to understand when it ends. Or yeah, I guess. Although I could just look at my own characters to see. I'm just not paying attention to that, I guess.
我该说些什么？就算行转，这么重的伤，以后的人生难免不受影响。
What do you have to say? Ask the physician how the patients are doing? Okay. How
伤
are they?
患情况如何？
伤员都已经苏醒，慢慢休养，日后都能恢复健康。除了那孩子。
And then you subtract your original team? Yeah, I guess I just don't really pay attention to it, because I guess the immersion mode seconds are really short.
他的伤势太重，恐怕以后要落下残疾。
好，我这就去看看。
Where is that small child? Sad looking Tianshi. Sure does.
赵叔，
庄天师，你来了。
我也来看看他。
好，他刚刚睡下，要是知道你来了，肯定高兴。
Trying to get the framing right so we can see her face.
之前这丫头就说要投在你门下
There，you go.
到第一线与青石朝抗争。可惜是她没福气。
别这么说，赵叔，这孩子很好，是我没福气才对。
You know, as small as this is for like such a big city, I do like this this infirmary area. I think it's kind of cute.
您也多保重，有事随时可以来找我。
I think they really get like planning out details within the world,
大战
like
过
in
后，
buildings and stuff.
装天使你肯定也有的忙，不用为我费心。
饶恕。
没事儿，你去吧。能。
Dang. All these people are injured. After visiting the injured, Selmer Zhongfeng Yi bids everyone farewell. The thing is also, I don't really understand. I think like, I don't know
选建局那边不知道
how
怎么样了，得赶紧去看看。
they got injured.
还是先关注眼前的事吧。
What? I can't view
还
that.
是先关注眼前的事
Oh
吧。
my god. Okay. Like, I was commenting on this last time, right? Like, where did all the citizens go? It seemed like the only ones were out there were like on the front line in Tianshu and stuff, right? But it didn't look like all the patients were at Tianshu, I guess. It seemed like more like they were like, I guess, I mean, whether or not they were. It's also a little bit unclear to me, like, how either does damage. It seems more like a poison to me than like a physical injury thing. But it doesn't look like, I mean, I guess it's not that poison can't leave like disorder, like what do you call it? Like chronic disabilities, right? I don't know, it's just a little bit unexpected. And because we didn't really see how the blight affects the human body, I guess, in that segment. She saw us and got jealous? That's crazy. But with explosion, you'd expect physical injuries. That's true, I guess, yeah.
不该这么自私的。需要你的，明明还有更多人，更多事。
Look at those parallels to Li Feng's story that we saw 5 minutes ago. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that part was like glossed over almost a little bit for a segment that seemed like it was important to her character.
这是我一个人的事，一个人的责任。
I guess it's like because it was so like the infirmary scene was a little bit unspecific. I find it a little bit hard to relate and connect with that.
双天使，
It's like, oh, there are
你要
people
的
that are
文件
hurt,
我
but
都
it's
放在楼
like
上了。
I don't know. It didn't feel like it.
好，
Almost.
文件签署完，我会记得归档。辛苦你帮我跑这一趟了。
怎么只有你一个人？管理员呢？
管理员有他自己的事情。
这次你一个人去地下，能行吗？
输让仪的改进已经完成，风险程度降低很多。我一个人就够了。
I'm a little bit also curious about this, like this aspect of her that's like, oh, I shouldn't be so selfish, right? When she's one of the most selfless people out there.
那
Because she's well aware that she's probably gonna die doing this, it seems. But then she's also well aware of how needed she is by the people in the city, right?
没有了，葛天师，你忙吧。
Go upstairs and read the documents. Hello. I do like the way that her pants move like a skirt sometimes. Violet is kind of crazy. Read the documents. Why she looks so sad in this shot. Extra sad. Informed consent. I didn't even read that. Goals of Violet levels of potential hazard by the year 9 access. Oh wait, you can't read it. Primary investigator Zhongfeng Yi, additional investigators none, and performance assessment on the upgraded 0-9 nexus against an actual rift. Levels of potential hazards resulting from energy collisions and shockwaves generated from the 0-9 nexus. Potential hazards generated from energy collisions, shockwave generated from the sealing process. The presence of exclusive is possible contact the test, while they exposed to a powerful pulse of ether energy. Verify and sign. Oh, her signature's kind of cool. Work handover documents with a voice of viceroyalty. Viceroyalty? Is that how you say that? Is that like an actual word? I've only learned of viceroy. Viceroy, yeah. If next time we're to record the handling of all administrative affairs of Wuling shall be handled by Watchguard Captain Mifu, while Academy and campus matters shall be handed over to Tianshi Yipu. That piano chord kind of hit. I like how like ominous it is too now. What's next, girly pop? Yeah, she got her thinking cap on. By the time you read this letter, I'll have already left. Your assistance is improving your night nexus. Girl, please stop writing so fast. I'm trying to read. Okay. Yeah, no longer poses a threat to the Wuling, but an attempt to forcibly seal the rift would not be without consequences. However, I do know with certainty that I can seal the rift on my own. As to the price, I alone should suffice. I append a letter to grant Ge Yipu and Mifu temporary authority over the matters of the city. In the end, Wuling will endure and move on as it always has done. There was a time where I thought that I would never see the departed. The memories would remain as they are, things that linger in our minds. But you appeared, and the faces of the departed overlapped with the sights. Memories were reignited one after the other, and they replay themselves. What? Sorry, I would never see the departed, like the dead people. The memories would remain as they are, but then I guess she'd had closure already, and now she's like giving it up. I remember when you first visited the science station. I guess I'll wait for her to finish writing and then I'll go back. That's okay. Yeehaw. Okay. I stood in the crowd and gazed at you from afar. I hope there'd be a day when I could share my perspective and ideas with you. When I finally got my chance, I found myself stuttering and unable to form a coherent sentence that you probably remember me as a young girl who just kept avoiding you for reasons unknown. A decade has gone by, you and I are the only ones left from the crowd of yesteryear, but you still walk amongst us, and you have made me feel that a figment of the beautiful times has remained instead of leaving me completely. That's enough. You're the administrator of Enfield Industries. Well, I'm actually a little bit curious, because she talks about how little she was 10 years ago, but to my mind, right, like being, like, you would only call yourself little 10 years ago if you were like 12 or 13, right? That's probably the oldest, I would say. So that means like she's like barely in her 20s, no? Well, these are your responsibility while you are destined to push further into the frontiers and shoulder burdens of far greater import. Asking you to join me on this mission is akin to me forcing you to take on my duties, and you've already done so much for Wuling. So it's only been 10 years. We must be more people around back then. That's, yeah, that too as well. Like that kind of implies to me that like Mifu was still with the stockade 10 years ago. And granted, things change a lot in 10 years, but like surely some of the big Tianshi guys have been around all this time. I think she's being kind of overdramatic. I think it's the vibe. If I figure she was in her 20s 10 years ago, she'd be in her 30s, 40s, and the oldest now. I thought, because when she writes it here, right? Like she's talking about like the events 10 years ago, and she said she calls herself 10 years ago as the young girl who just kept avoiding you for the reasons unknown, right? And so I'm so curious because would you call yourself a young girl if you're 20? Like, I would call myself young if, like, in my 20s, but, like, I wouldn't call myself a young girl. I think girl specifically implies, like, juvenility, right? So I think she's actually, like, a lot younger than I expected. And I guess in that sense, in that lens, it kind of makes sense, because young people kind of do reckless things. Sure, I call yourself 10 years ago young, but you wouldn't call yourself, like, a young girl, right? You call yourself a young adult, maybe. I don't know. I think for me, this nuance is there, and that's a little bit interesting to me. Making a reckless decision when you're 20s makes sense to me. Anyway, we could. I think there's gonna be a lot of debates online about how old she is. I think I'm just gonna rehash what other people are already saying. Dang, her fold is so perfect and neat. What the heck? Why can't I fold that neatly? I do like this OST too. I like how she just left it on the table without even putting in like a letter or anything, without even like signing her name on it. That's crazy. Girls pretty generic. People call each other girls in their 50s. I guess. I think of it differently, right? I would call myself a young girl if I was like in my like second decade of life, right? My 10 somethings. Hey Gustabin, it's good to see you again. Look at her go. She's taking such a stroll, nice walk. As if she's about to krill herself. If you should graduate from college or grad school just for joining cancer core. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I don't know. It's a little interesting to me.
毕竟，是我的失察，才让武林陷入危险，让人们承受损失。
The memories of yesteryear. I see the memes of her running away because everyone wants to use her as a main DPS. That's funny. You're saying she's not?
能亲眼见证一项跨越10几年的项目收获成果，是一位天师的毕生所求。
Look at us chasing after her. I was having a conversation with someone else. They said it was a suicide note. Would you say that she's going to commit suicide? At that point, it's like, what's the difference between committing suicide for the quote-unquote greater good and sacrificing yourself, right? I don't think she necessarily has suicidal ideation, but she sees it as a necessary stop. But also, I think like from her overwork. Sorry. Let's take a look. Yeah, I don't think she necessarily has suicidal ideation, and so I wouldn't say that this necessarily is a suicide note, right? But it is like a goodbye note, right? It's like the kind of thing you'd write to your family when you know you're going off to like the last battle, right? In a war, right? You're about to lose the war. You don't want to kill yourself, but also, right? So I think suicide note is a little bit the wrong word. But she knows she's going to die if she does it alone. And like, I think she's overworked enough that she doesn't see that there's other options. Almost. Like, she doesn't seem numb to me that way that you like a depressed person would be. I'm glad you see it my way. Yeah, I think there is an intense difference.
武林落成对红科院至关重要，你得挑起这担子来呀。
为了武林的安全，这点困难算什么？更何况有庄天师您在后面顶着，我不怕。
Come on, girl, it's right there. Or you could just sit here. That's okay too. We could take on the burden together. I think that OST for this chapter is really good though. I forgot about this character. I do think it's kind of toxic of her to do something like, you know, killing herself and then like essentially like pushing the burden on everyone else. right? Like instead of asking for help in life, she's just like giving it to them in death, right? I think that's a little bit messed up of her. It's a nice shot though.
认证通过，最高权限，通道开启。
你来了。
哦，
你说在实验室不见不散，却一个人先走了，所以就只好来这里等你了。
Nice.
你在这里等多久了？
Why are you inside the elevator?
没关系，我只是刚来。你呢？为什么没有等我？我一个人就够了。骗人。不过也没什么，至少我等到你了。
I think it's pretty. I think that sequence is pretty.
要一起走吗？
Ex-wifeisms. That is cute. That is cute. Ponderous load. After defeating that first strong point using my in the underground area of Wuling, the new rift disappeared, both realized the crisis is not yet over. Yeah, okay. And yet she still leaves the elevator first? What the heck, dude?
超越能量更加猛烈了。
Sorry, I don't think I caught why they can't just seal the rift the way that they did. I guess the previous one was just like blight, not necessarily rifts. I can't remember now.
这可是在天师庄阵列之中。
You going to find out why soon enough? This isn't the best time to stop and think.
我们先尽量靠近裂隙吧。
Do you have to dodge? This might be a little sad for me. Oh. Connection? Let's go.
前面的路彻底断了，附近也没有能利用的熙壤。
Lucky for you, I always have some in my pocket at all times, just to be safe.
事到如今，我们只能借助这些画卷通道了。
Or that works too. Portal to 10 years ago.
确切来说，是科考站在我记忆中留下的痕迹。说到底，还是要感谢代理人的能力。
I remember the proxy.
经历，数年过去，都不曾褪色。走吧，管理员。
I like how some of the shading or like the wind. Her entire like leg was shaking for a second. That's funny. Okay. Let's see how old she was 10 years ago. I actually didn't expect to be kind of like confirmed, I guess, like this. But they probably just use the same model, right? I can't imagine they'll make a new mod just for her to show off the events.
不知道这次碰到的，又会是哪一段回忆？
That's kind of cool.
和我预计的一样，因为超越能量的影响，画卷内的场景也变得混乱了。
Okay.
似曾相识，却也面目全非。
Must be nice to have a memory that works so well, girl. Our path is blocked by these stones.
这些石块并非科考站的建材，反倒更像地下阵列中的熙壤。这两处场景相互融合的出现在画卷里，还是第一次碰见。
It's nice to see you again, Sunnyshine. I don't really understand what you mean though.
似乎失去了能量，但既然是息壤，只要能将能量导入其中，我就可以操纵它们移动。
True, I can do that.
交给你了。
I guess we can. Did you want to spray like a 0-9 of the 0-9 setting block? Okay. Do I have any? That is the question. Oh wait, no, it's this thing. Oh, no, it's this thing. Nice. I think there's something really interesting about the sci-fi usage in ENDFIELD. A penguin chibi suit? That is true. You're right.
代理人早已会出，蝴蝶会带我们到落笔之处。
Let's Google. Ah, I see, I see.
这就是你
She's kind of silly like that and cute.
正是，落笔生变，有变化，才有机遇。
Okay. Sorry, I was thinking there's something really interesting about the sci-fi usage here. Like, the shapes are very sci-fi and like the animations and stuff, but it doesn't feel like practical almost in a sense, right? It feels almost like fantastical, I guess in a way. It's interesting. Oi! Oh, those are stairs. Okay.
我看到通道了，就在柱子底部。
Oh, a chair. I do like this kind of like liminal, like when you're playing with space like this. I think it's fun. Who's this? That was Drunk Pong Emo 10 years ago. Who's that? I say. The spitting image of her.
大家好，我的名字是庄芳怡。
真是稚嫩。
本部说给我们派了一位年轻有为的天师，这也太年轻了。
You're even younger than we expected, thinking emoji.
没有没有，我那些成果哪里称得上有为？
哎，妄自菲薄！身为红科院最年轻的天师，你愿意来科考站工作，是我们面子上有光。怎么样？我们发给你的报告都看了吗
Okay.
你师姐一直等着你来，想听听你的看法呢。
I mean, from the fact that they didn't give her a new model, I assume that she is like in her later teens, at least.
是啊是啊，快说说。
看了好几遍，有些论点很精彩。不过，为什么第26页和第27页的夹缝里加了一小段长尾语说和短尾语说产单量的对比？
啊！
我怎么都没想明白。还查了师姐的其他文献，整理了一些问题。
I love the story so much. That's awesome. That's awesome.
你这孩子也太老实了。那是我。
I like that blush that you can see on her ghost model.
后来我才知道，那是师姐故意留下的纰漏。
That's crazy.
是想看
That's crazy.
有没有仔细钻研过这些资料。
And now she's dead. You were really thorough. You even researched the mistakes too. Wow. Mistakes. Sorry, why did I say it like that? You're really thorough.
不许笑。
I like the Edmund smile. It's cute. Aw, she's happy.
重温过往事，最后一笔也该落下了。那儿就是出口了。
And now she has no more
你
friends.
每次进入地下阵列，都会进来看看吗？
偶尔，想回到过去的时候，就会走进来。只不过，我也不知道代理人会将哪段记忆展现给我。
Oh, did I miss a line? My bad. A thick compilation of scientific theses. Someone slipped through the religiously. Detailed notes have. Sorry, I just had a thought. Sorry, detailed notes have been left at every page. The reader really got into the details. This is a bookmark with chubby fowl beast on it, or drawn on it. That is cute. That is cute. We're still so far away. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
雷雨并作，化育万物。
I do think her alt state is really cool. Look at her go. Did we just like float over? Oh! That's crazy. I didn't know you could do that. Looks like a world boss area. It kind of does look like a world boss area. Alright. 2 more to go, I guess. Rule 3s. Where are we now?
这里应该是通往会议室的路。得消除侵蚀，吸壤块才能移动。
It's that easy. You remember the area in Tower Fantasy? No, I never played Tower Fantasy.
蝴蝶往楼下去了。
What the heck?
看来这次去会议室要走些不寻常的路了。
I like when games let you like jump on elevators so you can jump a lot far, or like plunge attack down. All right, where are we going? Hey, little guys. Where for? That's kind of cool. Why are they red now?
顺着电梯井往前走吧，管理员。
Pew! I think one butterfly escaped there. What the heck? That's kind of trippy. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I do like these kind of puzzles rooms that they have. Okay, not that way. Well, I'll go right until your heart tells you no. Ah! Okay, not that way. I think the visual design is really nice.
现在调转方向还会晕吗？
Yes.
已经习惯了。
Happy for you, Envin. This is so trippy. What the heck is this? An office? Oh, we were down there before. That's cool. Awesome. You went deeper to unlock the world's boss? Oh, I see. Those are some really silly looking books. I guess it's more like the other binders rather than the books. Never mind then. Why are they cheering? because she made something, she invented something, she produced something. It was really cool. The Zero Night Nexus.
管理员，这间会议室就是宣布熙壤诞生的地方。
Hey, Takamaki, it's good to see you again. That means I was around. I don't tell you, I was also here.
你当时还有其他工作，并不在科考站内。不过，我们第一时间将好消息告知你，你也向我们传达了祝贺。
I wish I saw more of the admin pre-memory loss. It would have been interesting.
这熙壤可算是让我们搓出来了，关键一步跨出去，之后很多设想都能实现了。
That's what they said about nuclear.
是啊，小庄部还说要建一座熙壤的城市，看你这第一块砖怎么样？
Actually, it's kind of surprising that they managed to make an entire city in 10 years, pretty much, right? Because it's so integrated into the city right now. The chibi forms? Yeah. I think I've seen them.
不远不远，有了熙壤，咱就有底气了。对了，你这城里有没有火锅、炸串、冒菜、汉堡、冰激凌啊
City of yours? Like the one she...
有的。
Yeah, okay, so this is just like ideas that they're making. That's crazy that they made it within like 10 years.
你怎么还许他愿了？哎，庄，别听他的，我和你张叔觉得，身体是科研的本钱。记得先给规划一片锻炼身体的地方啊。
A place for exercising?
有广场。
That's kind of cute. It's nice to think about it that way, that the city is like...
很大一片。
It's just all of her, like the city is all the things that she wants in a city. Like she's the architect of the future almost.
都忘了说最重要的，学校得有座学校。
I'm curious where the Tian should come from then, if the city wasn't built yet.
熙壤项目的成功代表一项新学科。
Like where is this take
以
place?
后这里会来更多天使。
If not in the
继续
city.
我们的研究。
老师，我把它放在城中重要的位置了。
It also a little bit actually calls it a question.
都有的。武林现在什么都有的。
Because I'm also a little bit curious now, like the stockade in the Wuling city had beef 10 years ago, right? But if the city wasn't even a thing 10 years ago, I don't really understand where that beef comes from. I guess like because the main conflict was that like they were encroaching on their land, right? And then it was escalated by the fact that the supply convoy like they killed some people. So I'm a little bit surprised at like how dramatic people are thinking it.
前面的路只剩一小半了。
My brother's here.
Hey, I just finished my exam.
惊天无声。
Yeah, all of them.
My exam.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. I'm not really sure. We're in a ENDFIELD. In case you forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know why you'd think that. Anyway. Yeah? Are you waiting for someone to say hi to you?
I'm in your chat.
Oh, okay, I see.
What does this mean?
I'm not really sure. It's okay. It is what it is. Anyway. I think he's a little sad. I think he's a little sad you guys didn't say hi. All good though. Enter this quote. Hello? Okay, anyway. All good.
10年前，科考站多数建筑被毁，这里是唯一保留下来的监测站。
Actually, if these bricks aren't made of Zeronite, what are they made of?
当时搜救人员来到这
'Cause they were before. They were there before.
以为会有人幸存，直到大家继续深入，见识到真正的惨状，才知道，幸运从一开始就未曾光顾。
All right.
资料室，记得当时被当作救援人员的休息室了。管理员，楼上就是进入监测站的路。
View list of casualties. Reporting organization unit. Pooling provisional search and rescue command. Number 1, male elderly found in the ruins of the labs. ID verified. Instantaneous fatal injuries, no life signs. Female young adult found in the ruins of the labs. ID verified. Multiple injuries across body. Wow, 800 people died from that. That's kind of crazy, actually. Severe head injuries, life signs unstable. Young adult found in the filing room. ID verified. Charlie McCara.
当时进入监测站前，不仅要做好防侵蚀防护，还得通过3道防护门的验证。
Okay. I didn't actually realize this was the correct way. I just kind of started walking. Oopsie. Well, let's enter.
Oh. 管理员，我可以用熙壤送你上去。
Oh, sick. I do like the shading that they use for the Zeronite. Look at her go.
侵蚀消除了，我们继续吧。
Blocks. Yeah, the music here is really cool. I do like this song that they have for her. Where are we going?
这是我们来时穿过的防护门。
I'm getting kind of dizzy. Okay. Sorry, I want to like listen to music. Listen, like take a minute to listen to music. Oh my god.
这次开多了。
Yeah, I wanted to listen to this.
那边有熙壤，我可以送你上去。
It's completely flooded by the blight. This is such a cool way to see the world, to be honest. I really like that. Oh, I guess I should get off? Or... Hello. Sorry, bad? Bad? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Uh-huh. Fascinating. Congratulations. The test is hard. Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Surely. My brother's jumping on my bed right now. Bouncing. Whatever. Yeah. No, I think it's just I think for stories games, people like to use that as background noise more. Yeah. Should I continue or are you gonna keep talking? Okay.
那时，我刚刚得知，科考站的前辈
I think it's really funny. Sorry, my brother's still here. I think it's really funny that she had 800 peers and colleagues, and they all died. My brother just had skill issue.
一切发生的都太快。他们离开时，还是满腔热血壮志。一张张面孔，鲜活生动。
You know, I kind of forget that you can read because you have glasses.
再也见不到了。
If you squint.
永远也见不到了。
Good job, good job. Yeah. Why? What she doesn't know is Enman caused the rift to having killed our co-workers. Honestly, Enman would. Yeah, I don't know if I could read from there. That's the point. My brother's having a heck of a time trying to read it from... No, I get it. I get it.
没关系，就好好哭一场吧。
It's such a tender and nice moment. My brother's kind of like, he's just narrating. He just laughed. Sorry, that's really funny.
没有时间了。
My brother's trying to like narrate it from across the room. That's really funny.
过了今天，还有明天，你还有时间。
只剩我一个，怎么办？
别担心，会有其他人来到你的身边，你不会独行。
I guess all the tension now are like new guys, or I'm a little bit confused about like the structural system. Like, how do we get more tension, right?
谁能告诉我，我该怎么做？
你做得很好，刚开始难免会有磕绊，但
Persevered.
你能坚持下来。
And then we met the Endmen, and then we built a city together. Actually, I am confused now. Actually, a little bit. This is so funny. This is one of the shoujo moments of all time. No, because if Endmen helped make Zero Night back then. Air trees will blossom even upon the most blighted lands. Will you have faith in this vision? Like, how, did Endman help build the city? I can't remember. Smiley. Also, I don't really understand how she alone was able to survive. Her gaze is so flat there.
抱歉，让你看到这样狼狈的我。
Like, how did Fengyi and Enman survive that, I guess, almost? Was Enman still around at this point? Because Zhang Fengyi has a really reverence for the Enman, in part because of their like mutual collaboration back in the day, right? Fighting up north, not even in Wuling. Okay, so the disaster happened afterwards. Okay, after Enman left.
我没什么不好，这都是过去的事情了。
Because then I remember like the pear trees that were planted in the city. No idea how she survived. Okay, I remember the pear trees. She talked about how like the Enderman helped plant them, right? But if the city didn't exist yet, I'm having a little bit of trouble remembering or like figuring out how that happened.
在我们眼前的，也仅仅是一段回忆。我们走吧，管理员。
Nod. Was in the city and helped build it, but they had to leave. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure it seems like the city was built after the events of this, right? Like she built the city after everyone died. That's what it seems like. And so there's a little bit of like weirdness here from the timeline. That's not very clear. Cool song. They sure will. Damage immunity? Will it be hard battle if you have superpowers? If you're sick and nasty with it? The dam was built after the research one was there before. I'm having a little bit of a hard time because I think they talk about how they had plans for the city, so the city wasn't built yet. So like the main plaza area wasn't there. The Has school wasn't there, right? It's just my impression. That's okay. I don't mind. I'm just trying to talk it out so I can understand it because there are some things that are a little bit unclear. Look at her. We're getting the 6th soundtrack, the drop. Right? Sick.
管理员，那些后面来的天使交给你了，可我保持距离，但千万别走太远。
Keep going towards the rift.
这防护罩可与前方的超域能量对抗。
It's not completely greenfield. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to understand the specifics. Oh, what's this? More guys behind us.
管理员，别走太远。
I feel like this OST. It's cool. The stalkers exist and they had beef with the bleeding people, yeah. Still, it's good to know a little bit more about the timeline and like how things happen, because it lets us like piece together things like that. Look at her go. She got the Nexus in her hand. She's like a real caster now. Oop. My HP. Surely it won't be bad that I'm causing like physical destruction via rocks in this area. Surely that'll be fine in the long term. Wait, my ult comes back so fast. Wait. Do I have to kill this guy? There you go. We made it! That rift sure is kind of large. I was trying to ult with my 2 button, I pressed the wrong one. There you go. Inspiration how China developed over the years. I look back and see the existence feels so much but unrecognizable. The city was always there. I think it's a good way to frame it, yeah. Like how like development has to come with sacrifices, I guess, is another thing, like a theme that's kind of prevalent in Chinese development. Not this puny rift. Oh! I didn't expect a cutscene. Come on, girly pop. It looks like her entire back is out. What am I gonna do in this situation? What is, well, I see I, but what is Enman gonna do in this situation? A rock? That's really funny, actually. Can I say? It's kind of like gives me more like color theory vibes. Like the green wasn't very effective at neutralizing the purple, but like yellow being the opposite of purple does neutralize it. Thinking emoji. Well, that's kind of cool.
谢谢，管理员。
I wish I should be the one thanking you.
为什么？
You've persevered for 10 years. You never gave up even all these years.
一想到沉睡期间，还有许多人仍在继续前进，坚守着这条道路。
She didn't die, hooray! Yeah, basically.
就算回想起来一片空白，但因为见到仍在坚守着的你，大家。 我就不那么害怕了。原来你也会害怕，管理员。
Crazy thing to say.
是的，我会害怕那些曾与我同行的人，最终却离我而去。
Shoe shot.
庄天师，你。
Yo, what's this? Sorry. Every time I think we're done with the Yuri subplot, it comes back with a vengeance. Not to say that Yuri should be a subplot.
我答应你，不会轻易离开。
Smiley.
裂隙已经稳定下来，戒视屏上的灯也该亮了。
Cute.
一起回去吧。
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Was I saying a minute ago? I genuinely can't remember anymore. That's nice though. I mean, yeah. No, I think they should kiss. Or like, you know, reconcile something. I don't know. I'm so confused about their relationship in the timeline. He's young and transgender, and is truly gender fluid. That is also true. It's Yuri for me right now because my Enman's a girl, but it could be but you know, they could be a man. And it wouldn't be Yuri all of a sudden. That's crazy. Tongue catching strays. Or I guess it'd be me, Fu catching strays in this regard, because Tongue's a kind of a stray cat. There is a lot of like romantic tension between them though. It's interesting. I'm not tired at all. She's so sparkly. Okay, like, okay, that's for real though. That's crazy. That's crazy. Are they holding hands? No, they're not. That's the date if I've ever seen. Not only for her, they were like, oh yeah, no, 1 day is enough. We need 3. We need 3 dates. One at the start of her chapter, one at the end of her chapter, and also one in chapter 1 for some reason. I guess like the beginning chapter 2. It's this, it's gourd, obviously.
当年科考站制作的竹箩，我将它带来了。
Oh, that's nice.
前辈们都已经离开，我不知道还能与谁一起喝。但你来了，故人重逢，也该共饮一杯。
I do like there's I don't know the custom very well, right? But I know there's a custom of like there's a meme about this in the Western world. Like it's like pouring one out pouring a cold one with the guys or something like that. And then someone like made it to be a reversal, like pouring one out with the cold guys or something like that. Anyway, the point is there's like a custom, I think in ancient China, or like a legend, I guess, where people would like go drinking with their ancestors, right? And I think that's kind of cute. Kind of melancholy and cute. That's so green. That's like radioactive. And Edmund just chugs it. That's crazy. What's this taste? I never expected this.
以前大家制作时，为节约，还添了很多。
Sierra Night beverage, literally.
顾不得什么味道了。
It's good to see you, Audrey. By the way, it's good to see you. That's crazy. She could have literally just fed me like biotoxins, and that's crazy.
不过，这味道我很喜欢。
Wait. She said we fermented leftovers and scraps from the agro lab, so it could be literally just whatever plant, and then like lunch from yesterday. What the heck? I actually feel like that could be a chemical weapon. She's crazy for that. I guess I'll have another shot. She looks good with the blush though. I didn't even finish my 1 shot. Why am I asking for a refill? Messed up. Nothing like lunch from yesterday's spirit. Oh, stinky. Ooh. It says that bitter and slowly gives way to sweetness. A complex mash that's numbing to the tongue. That's what we're making for the next event quest. Wait, actually, I don't remember that.
是啊，这不就是从前的味道？原来不知不觉间。 在武陵的10年，就这么过去了。
We're making that a Sierra Night. Screaming, crying, throwing up. I knew she was crazy. Can't you draw Wooly? Stay at Wooly? I probably should ask her if she'll stay. And she will, right? Invariably.
武陵对我来说，早已割舍不下。 就算未来真有什么令我不得不离开，我也终将回到这里。不过，请你放心，武陵和我永远与你同在。
She's coming to Enfield with us, man. If only. We could use some brains in that place. Sorry, Perlica.
很荣幸，接下来的路。 能与你同行，管理员。
Smiley. Water's kind of cool. I'm wondering though, like who are the workers? I guess it's like Chinese development historically. Oh, we got more ornamental stuff. Sick. Chinese development, from what I know of, was largely brought about by the working class. To an extent, I mean, there's like dictatorships, right? Authoritarian rule. But like, I guess the vibe is like it wasn't like heavily focused on the scientists, if I remember correctly. It was mostly industrialization that modernized China, right? And so it's interesting that they go for oops. That's probably fine. Need help with better the market stones. Artist here, visit the market stones, see if they need help. Oh my god. He's not the easiest person to work along with. You may be above the words. Please try to accommodate his quirks. Once the dust settles, old time. Thank you for offering. Okay. Why am I getting demoted to support from you? Am I that insignificant to you? Unfortunately, yeah, Perlica's kind of just like my secretary, low key. I don't think she's done anything like with her brain in a while. She just writes things in her notebook that she got. But I mean, yeah, it's an interesting spin on it because it seems like most people most people of value almost in the city are either like part of the military or the scientists, right? It seems like pretty much everyone is a scientist in some respect, and I feel like that was just that wasn't the case in pre-industrial China, right? And so like also granted, like this kind of development is kind of insane. I don't think like a group of just scientists could really do this. There's probably other workers too. I just feel like they're not really given the spotlight maybe that would otherwise be relevant, I guess, in a story like this. So I don't know. I think there's a couple of like gaps in the narrative at this point for sure. And when I say all that, I mean specifically in the sense that like Zhuang Fengyi, she talks about Wuling as if it's its own entity, as if Wuling itself is a person, not that it's a compilation or like a combination of the work of a bunch of people, right? It's probably because you know the Communist Revolution. Oh yeah, no, I think my knowledge about it is like sparse, right? But my point of it is like Zhuang Fengyi talks like she's the one who created all of it, like with her own two hands kind of vibe. And it doesn't really feel like she like it feels less like she cares about the people than the city, because she's so like I guess like lost in the stories of the past, right? I think that's like one of my small criticisms of this, but I do really like the way that they show like I guess like the fruits of perseverance and endurance. Also, granted, I guess like I'm not really taking into account like the sci-fi fantasy aspect where she can like, you know, cause lightning to fall from the sky. I'm sure there's somebody out here who's really gifted with industrial prowess for some reason. Really significant scientific and technological advancements in Chinese history. I agree with that, right? But I thought the context of this, like that the development of Wuling City was more in the context of like the building everything, right? Like the creation of the city. Some of it already existed, but a lot of it is modern development, right? And there would need to be people to accommodate that modern development. Empire Dynasty you're talking about? That is true. I am Wuling and Fengyi probably. I mean, that is kind of what she said, right? She's like, Wuling is already a part of me, right? Like, okay, girl. But you know, I like the story of like how perseverance endures, right? How like despite loss, humanity still, you know, carries forward, right? I think that's nice. It does feel like a bit of an isolated and lonely story, though. I think because we don't really know what the impact of people have on the narrative broadly. We know that like she had helped to create Zeronite, but we don't know how like the city itself came about almost. Alright, and I have like issues with the timeline. It's a little bit unclear how that was done. And so I generally like this one less than I did like the first half or like Tung Tung's story, right? But that said, this story has its merits. So modern China is going through a scientific technology age. Oh yeah, I think like right now, I think it's a little bit of there's a bit of a nuance, right? Because when we talk about Chinese modernization, we're mostly talking about the 1970s, right? The 1970s to the 2000s. That span of 30 years was when China really modernized and became like a third world country to like an economic powerhouse. And in that sense, there was a lot of people who were left behind by that development. And you can kind of see that here in Wuling too, right? Like there's the stockaders who like that was their land, but now they're kind of being left out, I guess, almost. And I can understand the resentment there. I think it's a little bit of a shoddy connection, in the sense that the how do I say? It doesn't really feel like there was any active oppression from Wuling, right? It kind of they make it seem like the stockaders just wanted to fight and didn't have like a very valid reason aside from like, oh, you're encroaching on our territory, right? And like, granted, that is a valid enough reason. I just think the way they frame it is more that like, oh, there was one disaster 10 years ago that ruined everything, right? And I think that was a little bit weak. I'm pretty sure that's intentional. Maybe. I'm just pointing out my general like thoughts about it. But yeah, no, the thing about the stockaders being the like, you know, I guess like the people of native areas, right, of China, I think that connection is not done very well because there's not really talk of the colonialism that would happen from the creation of Wuling, right? Like again, the timeline issues I think are a little bit strange because we're shown such a beautiful city and we're not really shown any of the like underbelly of the city. The underbelly is what's happening in the stockade, but it's different fundamentally from what like you know, like the post-industrial revolution China did, right? How that left people behind. I think current China is going through a modernization boom in a sense, but I don't think it's the same as in the 70s. Because it's not, this one is more, I guess like in my eyes, this one is less about making life better for all people, and it's more like being competitive in a war economy. I think it's different lifestyle, city versus rural areas. I think it's colonialism because the way that it's framed to begin with for the stockaders is that Wuling City was built on land that was too close to theirs, right? Like that this was land that they had originally used, perhaps, and that they were kicked out to the outskirts, right? And that's colonization. And so it's not rural versus urban. It's collaboration and coexistence. I'm not really sure. Sorry, I really don't understand what you mean in that aspect. I think the rivalry between the stockade and Wuling now is a lot better. It's like reconciling with like the native origins of a lot of people from Wuling. Yeah, there's a lot of depth here. I just feel like that's not very explored, right? You have the city that popped up in the span of 10 years, is filled with people, and who seem to have lived here like pretty much their whole lives, but it's also only 10 years old. But the stockade actually feels like it's older in that regard. City needs a rural area to grow food. Rural area needs a city to get medicine and tech. That's the dynamic going on here. I think it is now, but I'm talking more about like the history of the violence between them, right? As of what the dynamic is right now, it's a little bit unclear still because they're trying to figure that out, right? But from the past 10 years perspective, the stockade and Wuling City had a violent history, right? Even up till right now, like they've just resolved that violent history. So anyway, I think there's a lot of nuance to talk about here, and I think there's a lot of things I wish that you went into more, and I think the runtime that they gave to all the problems was not enough, right? Having the quest focus more on Zhuang Fengyi's personal experiences and her like conceptualization of Wuling as it is today, I think is fine. It helps us understand more about the city, but a concept is just a concept, and we don't know how cities become what they are now, right? The violent history is not completely resolved. Uncle Shen's out there. Right, I also forgot about that. Sorry. But yeah, no, it's only just now that we've started to resolve that violent history, I guess, because Tung Tung is now the the actual leader of the stockade. Watch actually the Wuling will show that conflict come back. I hope they do. I want them to like explore more about, well, like, you know, this like dynamic between them, right? I said a lot of words. I kind of like went into a trance. I think I got a lot of words in my brain, but now I'm peaceful. I'm so happy. But anyway, regardless, I think that story was interesting. I think it's worse than Tang Tang's and probably the previous process as well. But all in all, I think it was like it's interesting to learn about, right? And I think Zhang Fengyi is a fun character in some ways. Her pathetic gaze is very funny to me. And like I guess we know more context about why she's so sad all the time, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I would like to know more about how the city is created though, and like the role the people had in the city, right? It seems right now that the city, oh, what the heck? This is here? That's crazy. Like, I would like to know more how the city was made to begin with, right? It seems like it just kind of popped out from an idea. And that's not how cities are made, right? So knowing more about like, you know, maybe the conflicts that arose from building the city, right? Would be really interesting. But I don't think Wuling has any interest in colonizing Stockade. I don't think it's interest. I think it was more like it happened, right? I don't think you have to be interested in colonizing to actually colonize. Because the fact is, the Stockade had claimed this land, and Wuling kind of took over it without any consideration for their feelings, right? I don't think you need the intent to colonize to colonize. I'm sure everyone who's colonized does it for the good of their own people. I'll say that way. But yeah, no, I think it's also nice, right? It's also nice to reframe all the like really nice urban choices as parts of her dream, right? Things that she's talked about with her old friends. But I just wish we knew how it came to be. Like, you don't just build a heckin' giant tower in the middle of nowhere and call it a day without any pushback, right? That's kind of crazy. So anyway. Also, the thing about Chen, that one's also curious to me. Second time of a century ago, not 10. The first word Timbo was founded as a refugee camp. Yeah. Sorry, did I say something differently? I was talking about Wuling City being founded 10 years ago. But yeah, anyway. The fact that the stockade, I'm sorry. There's a lot of like weird threads when it comes to Enfield's history, because it seems that coming to Telos too was a relatively recent decision, and so it's a bit hard to say how the civilizations have grown, I guess. But a city being so new as Wuling is definitely interesting. Is destroyed and the rebuilt wasn't today. Okay, that helps. I don't think I got like driplets of the What Maria posting. Okay, that helps. Yeah, and Wuling Tech from the start, they're the same people. Yeah. I don't know. I guess the point of it really is like the strife between the stockade and Wuling, right? It seems to have started with the development of the city, or like maybe not the development of the city. I don't know if it started with a monitoring outpost that was like before Wuling City, right? If that like, what did I say? It like I guess like maybe they were okay with a monitoring outpost, but they weren't okay with building a whole city. In that sense, I would call it colonization. But then it's like who built the city, right? How did they get so many people? Did people from the stockade move to the city? Right? Are those people the ones that became like New Tianshi, right? I think there's some things that are a little bit unclear to me, I guess is the point here. I'm sure we'll learn more in the future, and right now I'm just like theorizing and saying words. Right? I do want them to explore more of the history of. I need to stop saying those words. I've been repeating things. Smiley face. Silly want to live different lives. Yeah, no, because they mentioned the Tang Tang's brother, well, Tang Tang's like uncle, right? had like Wuling Tech and it was a Tianshi, right? In that sense, it's also a little bit confusing to me. Because that would imply, that would like entail that, how do I say? It feels like that they're mad at different people almost, right? Because the main thing Ren Yi was mad about was the like caravan raid that went bad, right? Remember the thing under the ancient spring? No, I don't think so. Team boss for help and Wuling can afford to send aid and then bam tension. Yeah, I know. Yeah, there was that aspect as well. I remember that. I don't remember when Team Bo asked for, like what when the timeline that was. I assume it was 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 10 years ago. It was 10 years because they were starving and they didn't have enough food. And then, but at that time, it seemed like Wuling was just being built. And you're missing part of the story. Then that's fine. That's fine. I keep planning to do all the quests on stream sometime, but I never really have the time to. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit rough in that respect. But I think we can still like discuss even without all the information. But yeah, no. So it's a little bit interesting, I guess, right? It seems like when there's like the was it a drought? Right. Anyway, when there was not enough food in the with the stockaders, it was also incidentally the same year that Wuling City was being built, and I feel like that's curious to me that the stockade would go to a city that had just been built, or like maybe was still in the process of being built, to ask for aid, right? And that so much of the conflict between them would arise from that. Because it's all said to be 10 years ago. Right? I don't know. Curious. Anyway, talking about it does help clear it up a little bit for me though. Hopefully I'll find out more information. And one of my famine happened was because of Wuling, or was it because of the rift? Yeah, I'm also a little bit unclear about the rift situation. I wonder if that'll be something that will be cleared up in the side quest or something. But who knows, alright? Yeah. But as for right now, I think that's all we're gonna do for today. Right? Yeah. Operation Complete Talos 2 may be further explored. Yeah, okay. There'll be more to learn in side quests? Yeah, okay. That is exciting. So, I think we'll have to call it all here for today. There's a lot of food for thought here, I think, right? I think the way that they frame it as of right now makes it hard to understand in conjunction with other narratives around Wuling. Even if you could probably like piece together over time, I feel like they could do a better job of like interweaving the narratives. Get your good chat, have a good day. Yeah, you too. But all in all, I think this is a fun story. Although I think it's a little bit worse than the previous process. I like the lore a little bit better. Ah, man. It's kind of a shame that I'm a hype and aura kind of person. Anyway. Regardless, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you guys have a nice week. I'll see you guys on the weekend for more regular Arcanites. We're going to be doing some of the S stages, I think. And until then, until then, stay alive. Yeah, enjoy your life, and I'll talk to you guys next time. All right, bye. You look teased not enough, yeah. All right, bye, guys. 拜。